So, I've been gone a little while. I keep trying to do some videos for the Divine Union, and I just have not been feeling it. I've actually not been feeling very well. Pretty much slept like for 2.5 days straight. That was wild. So, I'm feeling better, and I'm back, and I'm feeling more in touch with myself, and like I can read cards again. So, this is good. I just wanted to come in and clear the cards a little bit. I'm going to say my own prayers after meditation. Om Dari Dam Soha, Om Dari Dam Soha, Om Dari Dam Soha. Jetsam Pagma Joma Kekino, Galkun Gonsa Sangana Jabzod. Illustrious Tara, please beware of me, remove my obstacles, and quickly grant my excellent aspirations. Om Dari Tam Soha, Om Dari Tam Soha, Om Dari Tam Soha. Ha ha ha. So I'd like to check in with the union, Divine Union. Usually start off the week with messages for the feminine and then the masculine and then for the union. So I'm going to do that tonight and hopefully try to hit it in a timely fashion. So we're just going to see if anything pops for the, we're going to start with the female. Okay. Poppin', poppin', poppin'. Okay. So, yeah. Those popped out. I got this little extra one. I'll read that. So, currently, the feminine is feeling like she's being struck by the lightning to, I'm going to say, not have a lot of expectations, not have a lot of like predestined plans, not be able to lean on her mental sphere. So the Tower, you really need to have a strong foundation in anything that you do to make something work. So that preparation stage, when we're trying to come up with a plan, like that part is like, people don't give that enough credit, but like the preparation stage, preparing to do something you really want to do is really important because it's the foundation of the whole entire plan. So if your foundation is built on sand, your building might collapse and not be very strong. So if you have a strong foundation, you get struck by lightning, your whole, doesn't matter what's happening because your foundation is really strong. So I'm interpreting this card as being asked to believe in something bigger than this 3D building stuff, the mental sphere of having built something, your expectations, what you expect to happen, and start looking to your faith. The feminine really needs to have her center about her, right? It doesn't, what's happening on the 3D, what's happening in her life isn't like what's really happening to her. Try not to get lost in like what these like ebbs and flows are with life and everyday things, but be focused on the overall feeling of having faith in something bigger than yourself. That's the message for the feminine of where she's at. And the masculine can kind of see that too. Like, these two people are getting thrown out of the Tower and having to rebuild something that they thought was really firm, right? A lot of change and upheaval, but that can be good, learning, that's the way you learn like what ingredients are going to work in your castle. So the divine feminine's desires, so the desires, my brain works too fast for my mouth. So the moon, I'm really interpreting this card as like there's the shadow. So the woman is, the divine female partner is loving shadow. Like, she's not afraid of her shadow. She's really, at night things can loom large and look large and there's a lot of shadows and it can be scary. And the moon shows different phases of that. Sometimes we're in a new beginning, right? We have the new moon coming up. Sometimes everything's illuminated. We can see really well. There's times when we need energy and there's times when we actually need to rest. But what I really love about the moon is it signifies the night. Not only is there two sides of us, we've got the day and the night side, but I really feel like the night could also belong to the couple. Like, if you imagine, like, you go and you do your personality in the day and you do your work, and the male side goes to do his work and the female comes to do her work, and then in the night they can be together. So if you look at the male and the female and then forming their own union, not to say that they can't be together in the day, but that's just my personal feeling on how I'm reading that card. How the female feels, though, about everything, rather than just her desires for the night, or the feeling of change, or patterns, or waxing and waning feelings, is she really feels like she wants things out in the open, you know, the male and female dynamics in the sun. Maybe to be invited somewhere, or have friends, or go places and do things, and actually be really active. So I think she's embracing both. Like, she's desiring and feeling both balance in herself. The day, the masculine, I think that relates actually, the day and the night, represents the Nadi Shodhana, like the left and the right sides, the male and the female sides of the body, and the Sushumna, the spine, like being all of those chakras, you know, like the root, and then the up, like really high resonance with unity, right? It's like the 12th chakra up there, right? With the unity consciousness. So when your whole system is balanced, right, you don't care if like lightning strikes, right? Because you're just holding firm. So there's her, my opinion. If you look at the past, what she thinks about the past is, I think she's holding the Akashic records. So the angels there's two angels, and they're really like not spoken of. So there's, you know, the archangels, and then there's Metrodon, and I think it's an angel from this time and space, coming to us now in a place of light and rainbow light, and holding the Akashic records. So when everything is put down to pen and paper about what you've done in your life, it goes in this book, which is good fortune, because in the book she's showing that the deeds have been accounted for. In my opinion, she thinks, you know, like it's karma, like things are past lives, things are recorded from previous lives. Like, we are going through these times where we are coming into the fifth dimension, right? It's like everything's linear, you know. The first dimension, it's like A to B, and then you've got this other axis, X and Y, and then you've got three-dimensional, you know, and then you have like fourth, where you start to see the other possibilities of manifestation, and then the fifth is like you're actually in another dimension manifesting stuff all the time. Mind over matter. So it's like you master the breath, you master your mind, you master the power. So the power being like one with your spirit, but at one with God. That's what she thinks. That's how she wants to live her life. What the future could be for her is having a partner, the emperor, like having the emperor who is stable, bring her foundation, love, support, protection, his basically like his caring and nurturing. You know, that's the future outcome for the divine feminine, is to have the emperor, right? These cards are saying that that would be the future for the divine feminine, that she will be with the emperor, who is patient and tolerant and kind and steady and stable, right? He's not flashy. He's like trying to really show his love diligently and slowly over time, and that's the kind of partner she wants. Not like a flashy, flash dancy. But there's cycles, like we all go in cycles. Like right now we're kind of in this period of time where everything's changing again. Jupiter's changing, Mercury's traveling backwards, Venus is traveling backwards, Uranus is moving, Pluto is moving. We're in like a 7-year closing of a cycle. 7, the hangman, number 7. So we are really accounting for where we have been from 2011 to 2018. So this is a whole cycle. If you can look back to see where you were when 2011, trip down memory lane. For me, okay, so that's the cards for the feminine, what she has, what she's all about right now. Let's see if I can get a clear reading for the masculine, what he's got going on. These cards are hard to shuffle because they're no longer pliable. They're no longer stiff. You've wrecked it. Okay, Spirit, please. Please have our guardians and our ascended masters and our angels present. Just shed light on the masculine energy. A message from the masculine energy. Thank you for your message from the divine feminine. Okay. Thank you, Divine Spirit. Can we have another message? Whoa. Jesus. Not all those cards, Spirit, just a few. I only need 5, so 4 more, please, Spirit. Thank you. Slowly but surely. Show me one more card, please. Oh, we got 2. Okay. Wow, that's so interesting. Man. Okay. When you use a deck for a really long time and you have a bond with your deck, it's hard to let anyone else use your deck because the energy that you have with your deck can be good and bad. So the reader who's used to their deck is going to read it in a certain way and have kind of a slant on it. But if the cards are the cards, you know, you have to read them as you see them. So I read them the way that I read them. But they also come out in a certain way. So what he currently has is the High Priestess. So we were just talking about that, like the Akashic records, like learning through karma, learning through family of origin, past lives, current lives, everything that we have to sift through to be in a union takes a lot of that self-study, self-wisdom, counseling, healing, time out, time to like spend time with your intuition, time to hear messages, time to have faith. That's what he also has, which is what she thinks is important. So I think that's a good, because when you have a divine union, if you have the feminine, mama's happy, everyone's happy. Like that phrase is like, if your divine masculine is not manifesting everything that you're wanting, I don't think it's a perfect partnership. Like, I think that the divine masculine will be manifesting everything that the divine feminine wants, because he wants to prove himself, right? He's a fighter. Like, he wants to win her love. So that's really what I believe. The messages that I'm hearing. The desires, he has the desire is to be the emperor. He wants to bring her the stability. He wants to show her the fire, the wisdom, the world, his strength, his intention, his nobility, his ability, his emperorship of the community, and who he is and how he can master his world and show her. He would like, that's what he wants. He wants to do that for her. He desires that. That is what he's passionate about, is showing up for her. How he really feels about himself is that he has everything he needs. Like, he's at this point in his life where he has the cup, the pinnacle, the wand, and the cup. The pinnacle, the wand, and I'm sorry, the sword? Does it show the sword? Oh, okay, it's hidden right there. He has 2 wands, though. 2 wands. I'm gathering that means like for himself and for the other, but I'm thinking also he's got this ability to manifest everything he wants. Probably always has had. The Magician. It's also a 1 card, so it's kind of like starting over after the Fool. So being able to create, but create from a place of just realizing you have all these skills. Like, you have everything you need, and you're finally like, oh gosh, yeah, I do have everything that I need. I can create everything I need. That's that 5th dimensional place, right? 4th and 5th dimensional place after the 3D, when you're realizing, ah, yeah, yes, I can do. can do this. This is what I want to do. I'm doing it now. I'm doing it as we speak. And so it's like not being afraid to do the things that you want to do. Like that's how he's starting to feel about it. His intuition is like, I can do this, right? What he thinks of the past is driving things forward, like with passion, like triumphing, going forward with some passion. Like I'm present. I'm a warrior. I'm a fighter. I'm going forward. I'm taking all this emotional shit and I'm just like, reading it, going, reading, going, like doing the best you can and charging, going forward, getting his black and white horses together to go forward in the same path. He's the chariot, like he's like the charioteer. It's like, you know, like leading down the battlefield. This guy's a leader, like he's going, he's a 7, he's going. Balance. Balanced, of course, learning the balance of not going overboard and not going underboard, whatever that means. The future outcome for him is also the Empress. So his message is, I want to be in a couple. I want to be present. She has everything growing out of her mind. The mind is fertile. The mind is planting seeds. She has everything. She has a harvest here. She's the counterpart of the Emperor. She has all of the ideas that he's like showing, they're like showing up for each other. Like she has the ideas for the relationship. So the outcome for both of them in the union is the union. That's positive. That's pretty much like, wow, I don't know, we can just stop there. But the star is when all the stars, like this is an extra card, just like the feminine got an extra card. She got the Hangman, which is like spending time looking, christening, making everything right, whatever she wants to do. She's like, I want to do my nails, I want to get my hair did, I need to buy some clothes, I gotta, I'm sorry I'm not reading that card right now, but I'm thinking about like making everything the way she wants it. Like when you want to live in a home, you need to have the home look a certain way. Like she wants to have everything in that place. So maybe there's part of her who's like, I need to get everything in order. Like I'm still not in order. And he is like, well, I'm just following the stars. I'm following my North Star. I'm following the cycles. I'm following the stars, and I'm trying to get, and it's all going to come into alignment. All the stars will be in alignment when they're supposed to be in alignment. So it's kind of like having faith, telling her to have some faith, and not worry so much about everything falling into alignment. Like the stars will fall in place. Like you don't have to, like it's all going to be legit. So it's following hopes and dreams and aspirations and the highest stars of all this, infinity amount of space, stars, planets, space. Okay, so that's the background, the current situation. It takes a long time to read all of that. Let's look at the, let's look at the overall outcome. Okay, send us some messages, divine spirit. Show us the outcome of the union. Okay, so there's a way to shuffle these that I'm still trying to check out here. Man, so that week after that full moon was kind of a doozy for me. I don't know about for you guys, but what didn't happen? Let's put it that way. It's almost like as things speed up, man, and God, there was like something going on in the planets, I swear to God. It wasn't just the full moon, it was like heat. Like heat. I started looking into earthing and taking my shoes off and going outside and trying to figure out how to get away from electromagnetic frequencies and radiation and just like, oh man. I ordered an earthing bed. I'm super excited. Like a pad I can put on my bed. I ground out all the like negative positive energy, so you get negative energy, so you get charged. And man, just a bunch of research into that. I'm trying to root my energy down. from being around computers and all this cray-cray energy we got going on. But anyway, enough about me. Show us some cards, outcomes for the union. I'll take one more, please. Gosh darn it, you can't do that to me. I can't read all those. Timing, buddies, timing. You're just saying I'm a bad shuffler. Okay. I know, I suck at it. It's really bad. Oh my god. Okay, I'm just asking for one more honest to God card. Just please, don't do me like this. That's my fault. I'm embarrassing myself. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, the joke's on you, buddy. You suck. I'm just kidding. I have these conversations with myself all the time. It's kind of embarrassing. Okay, I'll just take one more card whenever you feel like listening to me. And just let it go. Just like try not to judge yourself here. Man, it was going so well. So that's a good point. Not judging yourself. Staying positive. I mean, I'm seriously thinking there was a lot of doubt last week. You guys, there was a lot of doubt. Okay. You want me to take these? Jesus. Okay, fine. Right on. Let me see if I want to take all these. Okay. Sure. Just distracts from all the rest of everything. If we have to take our time. Okay, so I think in the union, like, the outcome is, you know, this guy has a shit-eating grin. So everyone's wishes, like, all the cups are full. Before you get to, like, the family life, the stable life, the home, the garden, the kids, the family, the happy couple, all your wishes come true. So in the union, the outcome is all the wishes coming true. But not to be, like, so smug that everyone's looking at you like, you little shit. You know, you don't want to be like, so, you know, you kind of still want to have friends, right? Again, not holding on to all of your accumulation. Not like holding back thoughts, feelings, accumulations, wealth, money. Not cleaving to it, but realizing you have earned it. You have gotten there. You have gotten there. But you're right before the change point when you can start to experience a change. And so don't cleave. Realize things come and go. Things shift. You know, money is like water. It like comes and goes. Like sometimes we have to give it to receive it. The Knight, though, I mean, you know what's good, though, is to have a partner who's like hanging on to the money. Am I wrong? You kind of want a partner who can hang on to the money, right? He's not just like killing all the money. There go the money. There go the wealth. You don't want that either. Like once your dreams are coming true, you want to hang on to that stuff. But don't hold on to it so tight that you can't do any other things. But then again, it's nice to have a stable partner who can bring in, do the work, steady, do the work every day. Like having a steady partner doing the work, right? This card is important. We need all these cards, actually. And then the Ace of Swords, like having new, brand new, clear intellectual understandings, like a brilliant spark of light, like understanding that comes out of nowhere, comes from God, comes from energy, comes out of the clouds, comes out of white gloves and crowns and laurel wreaths. You know, it's like of the earth, but not of the earth, but has to do with the earth, and blood, sweat, and tears, and all those great ideas that just come out of nowhere. It's like healing, forgiving, new thoughts that you weren't expecting. Like, of course you thought you were going to be here, but you had so much doubt and so much confusion and so much loss and so much pain that you didn't realize you were going to be in the new. Like, so forgive, unconditional love, forgive yourself, forgive everybody else. Realize that it's not even personal. It just is what it is. You can't take a divine faith plan based in God and make it anything other than what it is. That's nobody's fault, man. That comes from where it comes from. Karma, faith, more than one lifetime. So when you're like keeping all these things going, like you're keeping all the things you've got to do in the air, man, you come from a long, far distance of travel, like you've come from a long line of like dreams and hopes and family, and you're just like just playing with it. I'm just playing with it right now. And you're keeping it going, and it, you know, kind of looks good. Kind of looks scary, kind of looks sketchy, but you're still doing it. You're doing it. You're not quite sure where you're going to end up, but you got these 2 pentacles, right? We can play like that forever. That could be fun. But this guy's like tired. He's like tired of fighting battles. He needs to take a break. He needs to realize he's a really good fighter. He's like one of the best of them. Pretty much nobody can fool him. All the staves though are just sitting there. Like he's got one and there's nobody there. Like he's kind of like expecting the worst. Don't judge people. Don't judge yourself. Don't be harsh. You know, realize that you have all the strength to continue going, to end the battles. And start, that's all these cycles, right? Like we start from an ace and we go to a 10, and we start from an ace and we go to a 10, unless we go into the Knight, King, Queen, and stay there and master. So when you're like struggling, realize you can pop over that, you know. And the King of Pentacles, mastering wealth, mastering prosperity, mastering the world, like food and sustenance and dreams. But he's kind of like, he's got his really cool threads on, full of grapes. Yeah. So when you've mastered the wealth, you can share with your kingdom. You can keep it all to yourself. You can share. You can make a whole new kingdom. You can make a whole new... Dr. Seuss going in my head. You can make a quick trick brick stack. You can make a quick trick block stack. Okay, the World card. So this card is like the end before you get back to the 0, to the Fool, to start over. So this is like mastery. This is like getting ready for a big shift. Getting ready to like have the world at your fingertips. Maybe to travel. Maybe to learn. You've got the strength of the lion. You've got the stamina of the bull. You have the ability to transform from the ashes into the eagle, like Scorpio. So Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, and the other fixed sign is Aquarius. So the female male aspect of being human, of being, you know, scientific about everything. So rebirth, death, light, strength, tolerance, and the ability to build and move forward, stubbornness even sometimes, or pride, or whatever it takes to be the dancer in the center of the egg of the world. Like how everything gets created from the center of this zygote, this egg, and she's got 2, she's naked, right? She's open to ventures, getting to the place where you can just enjoy the world, the shit out of it, and then just keep going. Don't look back, keep going forward. With your bad self, let's just call that a healing gesture. They have similar dreams, similar passions, similar upbringing, even though they're totally different. And we have a way to like understand each other and triumph over good and evil. Triumph, I'm just looking at these cards and interpreting them in a different way. Like triumph over all the stars and the difficulties and the planets and the way that we go in and out of belief or trust or doubt or... Okay, thank you, Spirit. Let's give some energy to the masculine. Let's like clarify some energy. Let's give a reading for the masculine energy. Let's give a message to the masculine. Masculine energy. What does the masculine need to know right now? Let's send them a message. How about let's show us, okay. Let me ask a little more clearly. Spirit, that wasn't clear. I'd like to know what the masculine is seeing and feeling and thinking. I want to know where the masculine's energy is, please, Spirit. Thank you. Oh, Jesus. Jesus has been on my mind a lot. I've already said Jesus and Jesus, and I've actually been thinking about Jesus quite a bit. And how he chose disciples to take his message out into the world. And like Mary Magdalene was one of his most beloved disciples. And everyone turned her into a horrible person. You know, they made her into a whore. And she was like one of his most favorite disciples. I mean, look what they did to Jesus, but still. She went on and had her own following in France and taught Jesus's message. Thank you, Spirit. Masculine. Okay, good. Okay, good. I've got this like weird. Did it come up? Did it come out? Okay, so the first one that popped for the masculine was the world. We just had this card. So he's at the apex of his development in terms of his belonging into the world and how he is functioning in his life. And the world is his oyster. I mean, he's at this point where it's like he's seeing the world for what it is. He's really seeing that he's part of the world. He's seeing what's in the world. He's like trying to find balance and freedom in the world. Independence. He's finding his own independence in the world, which is beautiful. And he is seeing the independence of other people. I think pledging love to another. There's the Two of Cups. This is a blessed union. It's growing, it's a budding union, but it's kind of like blessing the union when you're saying, I see you eye to eye, I understand you, I have faith in this union, and it's like a new union and a blessed union, and they're seeing eye to eye with it. And I'm thinking that this card came up upside down. The 5, which is a change card. The 5 of Wands is like a passionate entanglement where people are arguing, and I think what he might be saying is, I'm no longer wanting to argue. I'm no longer wanting to have a jest with you. Is that the word for jest for a sword fight? A jest? Man, that might not be the right word. Anyway, I think he's at laying his down. It almost came up upside down and sideways, kind of like ready for change in terms of his passions coming to a breaking halt amongst other people's and getting into arguments and shit. That's kind of like, I don't even want that. Like, I'm seeing that's where he's at. That's where he's feeling what he's seeing. I'm wondering, though, if you can send us some messages from the masculine. So, I see what you're seeing. I see what you're feeling. You'd like to have a relationship. Everything's out in the open in the world. You've got everything in the world. You're kind of tired of fighting the old demons. I get it. Okay, so it is. Thank you so much. This one came up upside down. Okay. I will read it that way. Hey, Zeus. Okay. I don't know why we have these 2 cards again, but we've got the world again. So his message again is the world and the 2 of Cups. I got these again. The world and the 2 of Cups. Okay. Let's pause on that for a second. I've got the 3. What? The 3. Holy mackerel. I don't understand why I don't understand what this is. It kind of looks like cups, but it kind of doesn't. Oh my god, you guys, this is a 3. Doesn't look like wands. Doesn't look like swords. Kind of looks like cups. We also have judgment as the outcome. You got the devil there and that angel, judgment. We get to that. We got this 3, which I want to say is the cups. Okay, definitely not the suit of wands. Yeah, okay. The 3 of cups. They just look weird. Those 3 of cups look weird. It embodies the loving atmosphere of a true friendship. The 3 reminds us to take time to be joyous, to celebrate. Oh, it's 3 people. A celebration to show gratitude to the wonderful people who bring love and happiness. So celebrating, having fun. 3 festively painted teacups sit stacked upon each other. I obviously don't have very much fun. The calm, quiet remains of a joyful gathering of friends. Each cup is unique in its ornamentation, but they complement each other quite well. A large purple rose sits in the foreground. The rose is in its fullest bloom, symbolizing mature, healthy, vibrant friendship. So being friends, starting a relationship from friends. The 2 candles in the background have been burning for a while, but have plenty of time remaining to burn. Take time to enjoy yourself and the wonderful people around you. Go out and celebrate. Dance, laugh, and be happy. Show gratitude to the many wonderful friends and family members in your life. Cool. Have some fun in the world with your love, and then don't judge each other. Like when you're at judgment and you're at the end of your life and you're sitting before, what do they call that? Purgatory, or you're in the bardo. The bardo is like in between life and death, and you got to choose where you're going to go. You do not want to judge yourself. Forgive people, forgive yourself, and know that you get to be reborn. So in that, there's peace. Like there's this peace, and there's this peace. Don't forget, there's this peace of being reborn. You know, to that message, you don't need to be demony devils and caught up in your own story and your own stuff to the point where you can't. Okay, so try to be positive, try to stick to the positive, try to see your way through this crazy ass judgment. Like unconditional love here, right? The masculine's message: don't judge, don't hate, keep on loving. Unconditional love. That's what this journey's about, is unconditional loving each other. Seriously. Can I have some cards, please? More cards, please. Can I have a past life card? I just want to know what the lesson would be for the past life of these 2 folk together. The message that they share from their union. If there's a past life oracle or past life message, or how they've come together, what they've learned, what they've shared. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Trust. Wow, yeah, that's big. Big. Okay, folks, trust in the T's. The stag, a symbol of healing, love, fertility, is sacred to the fairies of Ireland and Scotland. Also revered in shamanic cultures as a healing totem, the stag instinctively knew which medicinal plants to eat in order to shake off a hunter's arrow. The image depicts an atmosphere of harmony and ease between the dainty fairy queen and her stag. He peacefully carries her through an enchanted jungle without navigation or the use of reins. The stag has earned the right to her trust, and the affinity they share is built on a foundation of unspoken understanding. Telepathy, 5-dimensional. From an earthly perspective, trust is a fragile flower, difficult to earn but easily broken. At some point in our lives, we must all endure lessons regarding trust, which deepen our understanding of life and enable us to discern more wisely. These components are both integral and vital to our spiritual growth. When we lose sight of our place within the bigger picture, broken trust can lead to blame and bitterness, restricting our capacity to live in the moment and fully give and receive with a whole heart. Sometimes hurtful experiences can be seen as blessings that come to test our strength and result in a desire to seek out deeper meaning to life. The presence of this card highlights your need to trust your judgment or that of another person or situation. Now may be the time to confront old patterns seeded by a lack of trust or a propensity to misplace trust in some way. There are no coincidences in karma, so if you struggle to see the justice in a situation, trust that you're only given what is necessary for your highest good. Look for valuable insights hidden amid disappointment or the rewards of a wise decision. Both have equal power. Your relationship to life is a direct reflection of your ability to trust your own power of discrimination and to embrace the wisdom of your divine and knowing nature. Allow the power of love to loosen negative attachments and focus on any areas in need of the soothing presence of trust. That's big. Good. So they trust each other from a past life perspective. Awesome. Okay. Please don't cut me. If they cuts me, I've got to go do another video. Okay, give me some time. I did have to totally clean out my phone. So I made some space, hopefully. in my downtime, I've also been watching some new shows. So when I wasn't feeling well and I was sleeping, resting, not feeling well, in between I was watching Homecoming. I watched all of those. 10 shows with pretty woman. What's her name? Come on, come on, come on. I knew I was going to not remember her name. I always do. It'll come to me. Yeah. And then I started on American Gods. Hello. Have you seen American Gods? Oh my gosh. You got to see it. Okay. Susan, you got to get it together, girl. Okay. Can you please send me some messages? Those aren't. For the Divine Feminine. Hopefully I don't seem scattered and like didn't give the Divine Masculine what his mess. I had to sort through a bunch of different cards here tonight, you guys. Thank you so much. I knew you were going to do that to me. Give me like another card that we've had a million times. Okay. Fine. Did I say Jesus again? I'm so sorry. Man, Jesus, you know, it's kind of like being the martyr isn't really our time. This isn't really what we're supposed to be doing right now. But I think we need to recognize our sins that we commit to one another and that we really need to straighten them out. Oh! We really need to absolve ourselves and from our, man, just the way we treat people. We gotta clean that shit up, man. Okay. Is this our message for the Divine Feminine? Oh my God, absolutely. So movement again, these are feminine cards, but movement again is the Chariot with her horses and her beauty and going forward with her love, her plans, her goals, her dreams, getting her horses to go in this direction. Like she was ready to go forward. So when I say that, I really mean to get in order everything that you feel like you're going to need to go forward. Like, what does your job look like? What does the conversation look like? What does the love feel like? What does the house feel like? What does the relationship feel like? How does it feel to move forward into your dreams? I'm just trying to give you like a quick synopsis on what I think that would be moving forward with, or your passion or your dreams or your goals, 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, where do you want to be? What do you want to do? Where are you going to go? What's the plan? The Queen of Cups has mastered her emotions. You have mastered your feminine side of your emotions. You are a complete queen of your feelings and the feelings of others. And people come to you to process feelings, and you're really good at that. And you're good with feelings, and you love feelings. In fact, you're so natural and open and sensitive. People, probably come to you more than you really want them to. That's the message for her. And also Kuan Yin of peace, of sacrificing yourself for the peace. Like, some people want to fight. Sometimes when you fight, you don't win. Like, sometimes when you come from a peaceful place, you actually win the peace of your heart and other people's hearts. So, sometimes sacrificing at the right time for peace is all that's really, really, really important to do. Okay, is our message from the feminine to the divine masculine? If Susan could do these cards in a more orderly fashion. Okay, the message. Okay. So these came up upright. The Three of Staves came up down. So she, normally you'd be looking out over all of the adventures that you've been on, kind of like, but she isn't. Right now she's not looking out for the future or the past. I'm getting the impression that she's just not looking out. She's looking in. Like she's not looking out for what she needs. That's not it. She doesn't need to see outside of herself. And Venus, she is in touch with her loving side. Venus, her passionate side. This is kind of like getting the Empress again. Or, yep. Or even Venus, like, is in the Lovers. Like, being in touch with her feminine, like, being in touch with her passion, her love side, her sexual side, her primitive side, her natural desires, her need for love, her need for beauty, her need for physical affection. She's in touch with all of that. That's her message to him. She's in touch with all of that. Like, she's burning and yearning for love and sexual union. Did I say that? Crazy. I'm just reading the cards, man. I think she gets that he's the Prince of Cups. I think she understands and sees the beauty, his independence, and his individual side of his personality that is in touch with nature and the ocean and his ability to... Has he got a cup with a sword in it? Or like a big handle or something? Like, I think she's impressed with his ability to navigate his emotional world, which I think is rare. I think she's saying, you know, I see that part of you. I see that part of you. So a prince and a queen, I guess, you know, they, you know, princes marry queens, maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe, I'm not sure. Maybe kings marry queens. I don't know. Maybe there's some stuff to work on there. Maybe he wants to share his heart and become the king. You know, maybe he wants to... Maybe she's saying it's okay to share your heart with me if you want to share your messages of love or your heart. Even though it feels like we're probably not all that together right now to make that happen. It feels really risky. It feels sort of innocent. It feels sort of like we're not ready for it. I think that's what she's kind of saying, but she's willing to give it a go. And she also has the Magician. So he has, she has. They all feel like, you know, she can see into the future. She has her powers to know the past, to know people's, you know, what they're going to do. She has everything she needs to create what she needs. She's Isis. She's the Magician. She's the ability to create whatever she needs. She's got fire. Looks like she's got a scarab on her head. She's got flames and wands and water. I mean, you know, need I say more? He has that. She has that. What else do I want to say? Do I want to do a past life reading for her? Past life. Okay. Let's do another past life. Gosh, do I want to have be ones that I have to read out loud? Because I want to read one more. I don't want to run out of cards. Those are really long. Let's do a Wiccan one. Wiccan past life. Ooh, yeah. So I was thinking about this earlier. Is it just the way the cards fall out, or is it asking for a message? And like when you're not ready for something to fall out, it falls out? Like, does the reader make it fall out? Past life messages. I got 2, guys. 3? Let me see. Wow. Super. Okay. Holy Moses, you guys. Okay, so we have this one right here, the Green Man. Obviously, that's like a man of trees, and he's got the snake and the sun and all the runic symbols and growth. So that's pretty obvious. Growth. Like past lives, we're talking about growth through whatever issues came up, through whatever life forms we've had. We've always had growth together. Love of nature, we've got that deer in the back, trust, the stag, growth, like always growing together, like learning, like that's cool. Got that. Heredia, heritage, so there's some strength in the heritage, the family DNA, the strength in the family of both sides, whether they're differing. Gosh, such a cool card. We got the moon in the back and this animal. It looks like a male female thing. It's hard to tell. Maybe a female. She has a crown of the moon, of the crescent moon. Beautiful. So heritage, obviously. I'm not going to read them all. And Shikana, transcendence. I might read this one though. We'll see how long they are. I'm worried about running out of time, and then I'll just have to do another video. 10, 1, and 36. So 46, 47, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So an 11 number. So we're 11, 11, 11, right? 2018 is 11 number. So we're working towards this 40 days, 40 nights of transforming, of transcending these old patterns. So we're really in the cooker, like the pressure cooker of change right now. Of course you want to read these. I want to read them. The Green Man, growth, vibration, root chakra, which remember it also goes with way down, 3 feet, way down. Growth, fertility, prosperity, confidence. Guardian of the natural world and gatekeeper to her secrets, the Green Man stands for fertility, growth, and protection of the wild. Found on sacred buildings across the Celtic lands, he features prominently in our ancestral past and is the fertile aspect of the horned god Hermes. Hermes is the hunter-destroyer aspect. Sounds good to me. Sounds like they both have that in common. That makes total sense for past life. Ardya, heritage. Crown chakra, root, crown, nice. Keywords, birthright, heritage, celestial guidance. Aradia, queen of witches, and acknowledged as a daughter of the goddess Diana, is alleged to have lived in Italy during the 14th century, also known as the Beautiful Pilgrim. She's recorded as a striking personality of her time. Some considered her to have been a female avatar, she looks a little masculine, who deserved to rank among such famous enlightened teachers as Christ and Buddha. Of course she came to us, yeah. I mean, she's a devotee. Ah, yes, they both have this. Of course, this is the past. Ah, that makes so much sense. I know, this is like, oh my gosh, I have the tears. I don't, but it's just the softness in the heart. Of like, recognition, when you remember, like, oh, that's right. Okay. Shekinah, transcendence, vibration, heaven on earth. 5th dimension on the 3rd dimension. Heaven on earth. Transcendence, karmic purpose, faith. Again, the feminine aspect of the divine, Shekinah, is the holy dwelling place of the soul. For the soul, the reflection of God, the mother's embrace can be felt in both her heavenly and earthly domains of Binah, and Malkuth on the Kabbalistic tree of life. Many mystical traditions consider the union of divine Lord and Lady as essential to transcendence and bliss. Okay. I'm pretty sure that would be all that we need for this reading, for the divine union. I think it speaks to the messages this evening. Namaste. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe and like my channel. And look forward to seeing you next week. I love you. Appreciate you. Namaste.